Hi guys and welcome to Gary G Reviews and to this top 10 worst movies of 2017. So guys, we reached this top 10 as well and I can't wait to talk about it, but first a bit of a disclaimer. So these movies I don't necessarily think very bad of them. It's just that compared to my top 10 best list, I feel that they disappointed me. They're just not in the same level as the movies of the top 10 best list. So I don't actually hate those movies, or at least not all of them. So you see what I think when I start talking about each and every movie. So let's begin. Number 10. Transformers: The Last Night. Well guys, this movie, what to tell ya. I saw it actually at home. That's the first movie, maybe the first Transformers movie that I didn't go to see it at the movies. I just missed it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go, but then I had some expenses and then I just didn't go. Something like that happened. I don't really remember, but the point is that I really didn't like this movie overall. I enjoyed this movie in a similar way that I enjoyed the previous movies, but it's just same old, same old. Some visuals and some things that were happening were so huge and over the top that I really like that. I mean, I really love the special effects and how, you know, the Transformers fight. Some of the angles that the action was shot, but the rest of the dialogue, Mark Wahlberg was just getting on my nerves. He was kinda annoying, if you ask me. He was just playing himself, basically. That little girl that was in the movie as well, she was, I don't know why there. But overall, when I watched the movie, I felt like I wanted to end real quick so I can get it over with. Although I did enjoy it similar to the previous movies, I did feel that it was a chore to watch. So yeah, Transformers. Number 9. 50 Shades Darker. I said a lot of times that I overall have something like a guilty pleasure and not so much like it and hate it relationship with these movies. I mean, I enjoy them overall. I see how stupid they can be in a lot of ways. At the same time, I can see how this movie is definitely deserving to be, you know, on the top 10 worst list compared to the other movies from the top 10 best list. So compared to those movies, this, yeah, it has to be here. So although I did find some enjoyment out of it, it was also very, very stupid in so many aspects. So 50 Shades, guys. Number 8. So Baywatch, The Rock playing himself again, Zac Efron being like a douche, and everybody else being like, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, this movie is like whatever. Okay, I watched it. I enjoyed Pamela Anderson. That's what I can tell ya. It's kind of a spoiler, but don't worry, she's like 5 seconds in the movie, but her cameo was my favorite thing out of the whole movie. Just, it was an awesome, amazing, cool moment to see her, and only because of the perspective of her being there for a sequel of some sort, I'm on board to see, you know, a second Baywatch. But other than that, this movie, again, it's not that it's that bad. It's not that I hate it. It's just that, again, compared to what I consider to be the best movies of this year, it kinda, you know, sucked. Number 7. Now, this movie is probably gonna be considered the most controversial out of all of the list, because I know that like 99% of the audiences, well, that's just an estimate that I just made up, but I heard that most people, if not all people that saw this movie, liked it, but me and my boyfriend did not. I mean, we watched the movie, we were first kind of bored, continued watching it, wanted to know what will happen, but after we found out what was the idea behind the whole story, what was the bad thing that was driving the whole premise, I was like, this is stupid. I know that you probably like this movie or even love it, but I don't like it at all. I was bored. Bottom line, when a movie just doesn't makes the premise believable so we can relate to it or get the chills or whatever the case, it's just not a good movie, and for me at least. I mean, movies are subjective again. I just didn't connect with it, and that's it. Number 6. Okay, this is one of those cases again that I left the theater feeling like, okay, I enjoyed this, but there were some things that were stupid, ending was rushed, and a lot of the story was missing. I did understand that there's a lot more to the story that the movie just skipped, didn't show. But as always guys, I can only judge a movie by the movie itself. So even not knowing what the original story is, this is not a satisfying movie in any case. I think there was a lot of potential there that was missed, made kind of a cliche. Matthew McConaughey being over dramatic or, you know, overacting or something like that. So I did found enjoyment in it, but it's just not like, woohoo, it's a good movie. It's really not a very good movie. And if I didn't have an amazing company with me, amazing person to go with, I would be like, well, I just spent my money for, well, pretty much nothing. Number 5. Okay, The Great Wall. I don't even think some people went and saw that. The trailer looked great. It reminded me of Troy, although it has nothing to do with Troy, but just reminded me kind of that. I really wanted to see it, but I lost interest halfway of watching it. I finished it, but it was like a chore. There were some cool visual aspects to it, but that's it. It was kind of a useless movie, totally not necessary to be made because it didn't have any significant storytelling aspects to it, any significant emotional impact or any sense and meaning put behind it. It was just like, okay, this happened, this is the wall, there's some monsters, and okay, that's it, movie end. Yeah, so no particular deeper meaning, you know. It's not like Troy, which when I saw when I was a little kid I loved, although it was, you know, hard to watch in some moments, but it was a movie with substance that I remember, always remember. It was a piece of art, a piece of movie history. It was a lot more substantial, and this was just so hollow. It is just unbelievable. Yeah, so cool visuals and a story that is trying to make you connect with it, but it's just like a wind blowing in your face, you know. It's not that strong to do anything, just passing you by, something like that. Number 4. Oh boy, this was one of the movies, guys, that I thought that, you know, everybody were wrong about it because I really wanted to be good. I mean, how bad can it be, a Power Rangers movie? But it is very bad. Yeah, in my opinion as well. I still have that kid inside me that will be like, superheroes and Power Rangers. That was one of the things that I watched growing up. I wanted to see something like that, but unfortunately most of this movie is just the guys, the girls that were becoming the Power Rangers, but there's no real substance to their stories. The whole movie was paced slow. A lot of things were over the top and ridiculous. Of course, the old shows were like that, kinda, well, not kinda exactly like that, but it's a movie. They should have done something to bring up the quality in that aspect, to not be that cheesy. So some serious moments, some, you can say, kind of cool ideas, but then from serious turns to cheesiness, turns to very fast climax. It's so underdeveloped, everything. It was one of those movies, rare cases when I wanted this to end so bad, like, okay, I have to watch it because I have to make a review of it, but just end, please end now, and damn you. So yeah, I just prayed for this to end, and the costumes looked cool to me the first time, but this thing on the chest, on the guys, just look like they have tits from the sides, you know. So they don't look as cool as I thought they look just when you see them not moving, but when you see the costumes in motion and you see how those things, you know, perk. Yeah, it's just it's bad. It's not good. Nope.
Number 3.
I know this is not a movie, I mean movie for the movie theaters, but it's a movie that, you know, just came out literally before the year ended. It's a motion picture, so I thought that I would put it here because I didn't actually make a review of it. God, so again, Bright, one of those movies that I thought that everybody were wrong about it, but then I watched it and I was like, okay. I mean, there's some saving moments in it, like the main orc. I really like him. He's actually the best part of this movie, the whole story. Will Smith did a great job as well. There's some cool special effects. I really like that actress from Prometheus actually, but she was cheesy over the top. It's not her fault, it's how the movie was directed probably. But the whole story, guys, the way that everything went down so quickly from almost like regular police work, and yes, the world is filled with a lot of creatures, to, oh, this shit is going down. Excuse my language, it's just how the movie would have said it. And this movie tried to present the world that we have no idea about. It's like watching something that's supposed to be the second movie, not the first movie. It was hard for me to connect with it. Again, I lost interest half the way of the movie. Maybe 40 minutes I was interested and into it, kinda into it, and then I totally lost any kind of interest. I wanted to do some other thing. I felt like I'm, you know, wasting my time watching this. I finished it, but again, it was a freaking chore.
Number 2.
This was one of those comedies that I really wanted to be good so bad because I really love Goldie Hawn. I have great memories with her, you know, with her movies. And she's charming, she has charisma, she's a great comedy actress, she's just natural for the camera. It's like her acting is just effortless. So she's amazing, and to some extent I liked Amy Schumer at some point. But then she got over the top and, you know. Anyways, I mean, as a movie actress, when she's not pushing her own agenda or something like that, she can play very funny stuff. But that gross comedy recently, it's really disgusting. It's kinda going totally over the top, and there's some cases in which this can be funny, but this is not this case. So this movie, I thought that I'm gonna watch some very good, charming, kind of like comedy, light-hearted, but then it turned honestly kind of very depressing at some point, and it was hard to follow. So by the end of it, I was okay, it's over. I'm disappointed. I wanted something more, wanted something, you know, funnier. I wanted something more dynamic, and instead this movie just drags. I don't recommend it. Just watch Rough Night, I don't know what, but I have to watch Bad Moms too, but I'm pretty sure that it's better than this. A lot of movies are gonna be better than this.
Number 1.
How to Be a Latin Lover. Again, another disappointing comedy for me. And this movie, I could barely finish, like barely. I was so not interested. It's unbelievable. Super annoyed. Again, I don't want to repeat myself. It's just the same problems that they have with all those movies in this worst list. Super boring. I was bored out of my mind. Not funny. And I'm sorry to say, but this guy is just, I know he's a very good actor. He's just gross. Maybe that's the point. But yeah, he's very gross in this movie. But hey, Renee Tyler is in this movie, and she is a great actress from The Nanny. She played the mother of The Nanny, Fran Drescher, if you remember that show. I love her. She's very old now, but she's an amazing actress. She was in the movie like briefly. I really love her. And I love Salma Hayek. She's always great. She gives her all. It's just the movie just not interesting. It's like an old telenovela of some sorts. A lot of screaming and yelling in Spanish. So that was my top 10 worst list of 2017. Let me know your top 10 of worst movies. And yeah, I know that some of the movies in my top 10 best movies were for the worst movies for some of you. Yes, I know, I get it, but like I said, it's just my taste. I'm only sorry that I totally forgot about War for the Planet of the Apes. This was one of the best movies of 2017. Hands down, such a high quality movie, such an amazing special effects. I'm not like a huge fan of the franchise, starting with the first movie, then go through the second one. This third one for me was the best. It hit all the right points, and although it was very sad, it was strong, it was emotional, and all of the best things possible. And visually, of course, stunning. So I just wanted to say that I did a review of it. It's not like I didn't, but I'm really sorry that I missed it on my top 15. But that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. You can check out the links down below if you want to support me, my other YouTube channels. Until next time, with me, Gary G, Reviews.